This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Get ready. Comedian Nate Bargatze is bringing 2 nights of laughs to XL Energy Center. Don't miss out on the hilarity when he takes the stage on Saturday, July 26th and Sunday, July 27th with the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Limited tickets are still available. Get all the details now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13, 14 past Common Man program. And it's time for 534.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1. It's time now for What's Your Rank? A 10 hut.
Michael Middlehurst Schwartz of the USA Today ranked NFL playoff teams from most likely to least likely return to the postseason. The team he chose as the most likely to return to the playoffs is the Buffalo Bills, followed by the Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Lions, Rams, Broncos, Packers. And then at number 10, he has your Minnesota Vikings, followed by the Commanders, Texans, Chargers, and then dead last, he has the Pittsburgh Steelers. Common, do you agree with his rankings?
Of teams getting back to the play?
Most likely to return, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is one of those where, as my late mother-in-law would say, it's a horse apiece. You can make an argument, flop them around a little bit. There might be another one somewhere along the line that I think. But, yeah, that sounds about right. What would you say?
It's hard to disagree with the Buffalo Bills just because of how good they are and the division they're in. I mean, Miami shouldn't give them any push. The Jets shouldn't give them anything. And then New England, maybe they're a little bit improved with Drake May's second year, but probably 3 non-playoff teams in that division. So I agree with Buffalo. Philadelphia might be a little high. I do believe in a big game hangover. I can see Washington leapfrogging them in the East. Dallas is always a little bit of a mystery, but on any given season, they can jump up. So I would say maybe Eagles at 2 might be a little high, and even Buccaneers at 5. I get it. They're in the worst division in football. The Saints are probably going to be the worst team in football and won't get the number 1 pick next year. But Carolina might be improved. Bryce Young seemingly figured it out a little bit towards the end of last year. They were a lot more competitive down the stretch. I think Carolina's going to be more competitive, and Atlanta with Michael Penix might be more competitive. And I think just Tampa Bay, losing Tristan Wirfs on that offensive line, and Chris Godwin's going to be out for a good chunk of the beginning of the season. I think Tampa Bay might take a little bit of a step back.
I like the way you analyze that. I wish you would go a little deeper so I could eat some more, but that's good. No, I won't argue with you at all.
Well, and odds are, like between the Lions, Packers, and Vikings, odds are you're not going to have 3 teams from that division getting back into the postseason.
Correct.
Question number 2.
Time now for an in-depth look at the state of hockey.
The hockey staff from The Athletic did their way too early predictions for the 2025-26 NHL season. And for dark horse contender, which had to be a projected middle-of-the-pack team, so a team that was 20-1 to 60-1 odds to win, who they thought, what team from that section could make a run for the Cup? The Minnesota Wild got the second highest percentage of the vote at 17.4%.
Really?
Only behind the Winnipeg Jets. Writer Jesse Granger said, quote, I picked the Minnesota Wild here. They look like one of the better teams in the West before the injuries last season and gave the Golden Knights a good run in the first round despite just getting guys back into the lineup. With several key players in contract years, I feel like this could be the best Wild team we've seen in some time. Common, do you consider the Wild to be a dark horse contender to make a run for the Cup?
I don't know about it. I'm going to sound really ducking, but I don't know about making a run for the cup, but I do expect them to. Look, they had. I don't know this new acquisition, this kid that used to play for the Red Wings, how good he can be, but. And I don't know enough about it to know if Martini and Rossi on the Rocks is worth keeping or not. But if he would return and the guy can turn back the clock to the thrilling days of yesteryear and we get good goaltending, I don't see why we can't make the playoffs and win a series. But I'm not going to start doing dark horse stuff or to make a run at the cup. Do you?
I mean, the logic of what Granger says does make sense, right? Like up until Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek got hurt, they were the second best team in the Central Division, one of the better teams, just from a record standpoint, and missed most of the season, still hung on for the playoffs. And yeah, those guys were just kind of getting back and hadn't really gotten through the flow of things. And even in that series against Vegas, I mean, they had a chance to seize that series, right? When Ryan Hartman scores in the last minute of regulation, but it gets called back on an offsides review. I mean, that whole series, I mean, they could have won that series. They were in all of those games. I still think, and I know Wild fans probably hate to hear this because we're always talking about the future when it comes to this franchise. I still think 2 years from now, 3 years from now should be their wheelhouse, just because even in this upcoming season, you are still depending on a lot of young guys that, let's face it, typically it takes a couple years to get acclimated to the NHL, right? I mean, for this team to really make them run as a cup contender, Zeev Buyin probably has to be a star player, and it's hard to believe this upcoming season. I would expect him to make a jump, but I don't know if he can make that big of a jump. Yurov's coming for his first year from Russia, and hard to believe he's going to make this massive jump. So I still think we're 2-3 years out towards making a deep run. But
I'll take your word for it. You're the Jolly Green Giant.
Question number 3. It's time now for multiple choice.
Common, which headline at StarTribune.com today would you most likely click on? Would it be A, Twins finally land sponsor for advertising patch on their uniforms? B, winning in the trenches is key for Gopher success? C, Loons lose again at home to top talent, fall 1-0 to LAFC. D, Lavelli Neal : victory over Mercury, proof Kayla McBride is an all-star. Or E, ex-Viking Everson Griffin denies being unruly on MSP-bound flight sent back to Chicago.
Advertising patch. There's so many. This could be such a great bit. Roto-Rooter.
I always love that one.
Bottoms Up, Brewery. What, who do they, that would be the one I'd click on.
Pay less?
That's even better, pay less. It's really good. Rosen's old roller rink cheapskate. You used that line earlier in the week. Dollar General.
How good would that be?
Yeah.
They should have a little sense of humor with yourselves.
Yeah. Who do they do?
It's a Securian Financial, I believe, is the name of the company.
Their finances are secure, that's for sure. There's no doubt about that. That would have been the one. How about you? Which one would you have clicked?
Well, I did click on a couple of them. The one I clicked on first, maybe just from the TMZ side of things, was the Everson Griffin story. And he's had a lot of off the field stuff after his career. Yeah, a lot of mental health stuff. So hopefully he gets better in that regard. But we keep getting story coming from him.
Yeah, you are right.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 questions. Well, actually 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
You are correct. That's a little 5-3-4, as we like to call it. Controversial Vikings news, other side of the break. 10 also has a keyword.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword green at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. That keyword is green. Enter now at KFAN.com.
KFAN.
Minneapolis, get ready. Music legend Paul McCartney is bringing his Got Back tour to U.S. Bank Stadium October 17th. Tickets drop July 18th at 10 a.m., but beat the rush. Register now for the artist presale at paulmccartneygotback.com. One night, one icon. Don't miss it. Full details available at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Whether it's true or not, legend has it that I think it was an 11-year-old kid looked at Shoeless Joe Jackson. Do you know who Shoeless Joe Jackson is? Tennessee baseball player from the olden days, played for the Black Sox. Remember the 1919 cheating scandal?
Greatest nickname in the history of sports.
Billy White Shoes Johnson was pretty good too, but and then there's the Manasseh Mauler. Tennessee, for $10, can you tell me who was the Manasseh Mauler?
No idea.
Jack Dempsey, former world heavyweight champion. Can you tell me the nickname of Frank Fletcher, prize fighter from the 1990s? Frank the Animal Fletcher.
I do know Frank Big Hurt Thomas.
The Big Hurt.
That's a good nickname as well.
Shoeless Joe Jackson, the kids said, say it isn't so, Joe, say it isn't so. You didn't really bet on games. Here's one for you, Tennessee. Say it isn't so, NHL. Say it isn't so. Associated Press story. Hockey's beloved emergency backup goalies face an uncertain future with new NHL rules. Did you see that story?
Oh, my gosh.
The emergency backup goalies.
EBUG?
It's EBUG. It's the coolest thing in sports, right? I mean, they don't have anything like that in any other sport, do they? They don't have an emergency place kicker.
I wish we did sometimes for our team.
Wait, hold on a second. First this, and then...
We're going to get supreme kicking this year. We're going to have the best kicker in the league. Go, Skol Vikings. He's going to get us into the NFC Championship game.
As far as I know, there is no other sport. E-bugs are, as you just called them, and that's the nickname, are like just non-professional hockey players that are ready to step in when the two goalies on a team's roster are suddenly not available for a game. Story from Associated Press says the new collective bargaining agreement that goes into effect for the 2026-2027 season will change the EBUG program, with each team now required to employ a full-time traveling replacement to play in the event of multiple injuries or illnesses. There's already a sense of nostalgia across the tight little community of EBUGs, which date to the early days of the league a century ago. Mentioned in here is former Zamboni driver turned arena manager David Ayres, or Ayres. He, story says that he became an immediate sensation when he pulled on the goaltending gear and took to the ice in an NHL game on a Saturday night in Toronto and beat the hometown Maple Leafs. Before that, accountant by day, beer league goalie by night, Scott Foster won a game for Chicago. So the Ayres guy says, I like that the EBUG position got so much attention over the last 5-6 years. There's no other position in sports like it. Kind of sucks that it's going to go away in a sense. I know there are a lot of guys on the EBUG list that were hoping to get their shot at playing in a game, but I think it's smart. It doesn't happen a lot, tend to be. The story goes on to say, it's incredibly rare. An EBUG has entered a game just 6 times in the 13,068 regular season games over the past 10 years. None have been on the ice in the playoffs in the modern era. So it says, though, it might not go away completely considering the details in the memorandum of understanding for the new labor deal. An emergency goalie cannot have more than 80 games of pro experience, been in pro hockey over the previous 3 seasons, or played an NHL game on a standard non-tryout contract. And I don't know why they're making those. Maybe so they don't have to pay him as much or something. I don't know. It says 3-time Stanley Cup champion Marc-Andre Fleury, a.k.a. The Flower, joked after retirement he would love to be Minnesota's EBUG. That can't happen even under the new rules, but the guidelines do allow the potential for more fairy tale moments, even if it's less of a mystery who is coming in. Connor Beaupre?
Yeah. The son of Don Beaupre.
He's Minnesota EBUG. He said it would be a blast, said Minnesota EBUG Connor Beaupre, whose father, Don, tended goal for nearly 800 NHL games. I know a handful of guys that have done warm-ups or something like that, which is pretty cool experience, and I backed up a few games. It's so few and far between, so it's hard to expect to get in. So I don't know. And again, because it doesn't happen much, it's really not that big of a deal. But it is kind of cool that you just don't see that.
That's why I feel like they didn't need to do this because it's so rare.
Yeah,
and it is a great story, right? It's one of those that's going to be on Instagram. It's going to be on TikTok and give attention to your sport. Now I feel like that aspect of it's going to go away.
Yeah, and it. Maybe I didn't read far enough into the story, but.
How great of a story would that be, though?
I don't know why they want to change it, because I don't really, looks like, and maybe I missed it, because I shouldn't admit this working at the All Sports station. I just skim a lot of stories, but I don't see anything in there that said the reason why they want to do that.
I would guess usually there's lawyers or something legal involved.
Send lawyers, guns, and money. They're
at risk of if one of those EBUGs gets hurt and would cost them a lot of money. I don't know.
I guess the one thing that I think is, this has happened on rare occasion, where in PGA golf, I don't know how often, but I remember hearing a story once, and I don't know how long ago it was or what the tournament was, but like a caddy fell ill, and so somebody in the crowd had to come out and they just said, "Can you carry my bag?" Yeah, sure.
I would love to do that.
Oh, yeah.
How great would that be?
Just grab the bag and go. Well, that's part of, the CR, am I going to get the initials right? CRMP, America's Tour, that they have up at...
Craigan's.
At Craigan's.
Yes.
That's where...
Lil B's husband.
Yeah, he has gone there. So if you really wanted to do that, now again, you're not going to get to... It's not like Scheffler's caddy falls ill and you're taking Scotty's bag, but and I think all those spots are filled. I'm not sure. Go ahead and contact Craigan's. They're still looking for volunteers. I don't think they need caddies anymore, but a lot of these guys don't have full-time caddies.
And you're just carrying their bag. You're not giving any insight at all.
But you might be able to, pump them up a little bit and say, yeah, you're playing well, man. Way to go, I
mean, I'm available because Isabella McCauley is going to be playing out in the U.S. Amateur. She qualified, and it's out at Bandon Dunes. I've played that course 7 or 8 times. I have a great knowledge of how to play the Bandon Dunes course. So if Bella needs a caddy, I'm available.
If she wants to know how to hit it out of the right rough, I guess you would be her. You'd be the person that would take her on that journey. So, so if you want a caddy, you can do that. I mean, I've told you the story, right? When I caddied for Arnold Palmer, I gave up after 7 holes. I said, Arnie, I'm out. He goes, what? I go, I'm out. Gotta go. Well, because I really wasn't caddying for him. We just recently talked about this, didn't we, on the air not long ago? I could have swore we did, or else I was just telling somebody in a story. I got a chance to. The radio station was auctioning off. It was the very first senior tour event at TPC of the Twin Cities. And now they got, they don't do that anymore. They do the 3M Open, which is coming up, which I'm broadcasting live the next 2 Saturdays from TPC of the Twin Cities for Tee to Green. But, sure enough, one of the sales guys comes in here and says, we're auctioning off a couple of spots to caddy at the Pro-Am on the Tuesday of the 3M, the old guys tournament. And they said, there's 3 spots, and you get one of them, and you get the first choice. Do you want a caddy for Hale Irwin, Chichi Rodriguez, or Arnold Palmer? That was tough. I mean, on Arnie, I get there. Channel 9 did a little piece on it. So I carry his bag, to the cart, and then we'll just ride the cart. I'm really not kidding. Yeah. And so that it's after I talk about myself. That's what we did. And I think he actually appreciated it because he's probably just tired of people going, tell me about what happened at Cherry Hills in 1964. What was it like playing against Jack Nicklaus? Whoa, what's those green jackets like? After a while, he probably just tired of answering those. So he seemed relieved that I was just going. So then I said, I told him when I had a 2-shot penalty at a state am qualifier for hitting myself with my own ball. I explained it to him. He seemed fascinated by it. Then he was signing so many autographs and talking to people. It was after a while was like, we didn't say anything for 4 or 5 holes. So I got to the 7th green and said, I'm out. He said, what? I said, I'm out. He said, okay, see you later. Pleasure to meet you. And that was the end of that. So I gave up on the king.
I can't believe you did that.
I had enough.
For anyone else, it would have been life-changing.
Yeah.
For you bail on it.
Well, now, if you told me that I could announce the Vikings' 4th-round draft pick, I would never turn that down. That's a life-changing experience.
Bazooka Hoot for the solo lead. Birdie putt. Pants fluttering in the wind.
Yeah. He looks it over. Draws the flat stick back. It's on the way. Oh, this looks really good,
Oh, it's going to be right.
Yeah. Oh. He just creased the lip again. So there you go.
By the way, they all wear tight pants now, so it doesn't. The pants don't flutter in the wind anymore.
Yeah, you were giving some bad information, but that's okay too. We'll break. We'll come back with a little Distad Lat here on the Fan.
Thanks to friends at Unreal, you can restock your wardrobe with Unreal Golf Apparel this year, just like Common. Register to win up to $1,000 in Unreal Golf Apparel on our contest page. One lucky winner will restock their closet with amazing golf apparel thanks to Unreal. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest to enter today.
List radio is lazy radio. Look up the word lazy. You might see my picture there in the dictionary. CBS Sports is the best at doing list radio, tend to be. I think they did this last year. And I think we milked it into like 3 segments. We won't do 3 here today, but it's an NFL story as we approach the start of training camp. 2025 NFL triplets rankings. The best quarterback, running back / wide receiver or tight end list. Which 3? The quarterback, running back, and then either a tight end or a wide receiver. Who are the very best? And they have the different tiers. Like tier 8 is the Browns. And they're at rock bottom.
Don't even know who the quarterback is.
It's Joe Flacco. That's what they're assuming.
That's who they're going with?
Flacco. Running back is somebody called Quinshawn Judkins. Do you know?
And he's in some legal issues right now. Yeah.
And then the wide receiver is Jerry Jeudy.
He had a solid year last year.
So they're saying like that's tier 8. So that's rock bottom. They're saying they might have the worst triplets in the history.
I would probably agree with that.
Of triplets. Then tier 7, not the worst. New Orleans Saints. Who's their quarterback? Tyler.
I believe it's pronounced. It's pronounced differently than it looks. Is it like Shuck?
Is that how it's pronounced? I don't know.
What is it? SHOUGH? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's pronounced Shuck.
I believe it's Shuck.
And I would say if I was a Saints fan, I'd say, shucks, we got a terrible quarterback.
He's a rookie. He was drafted in this, I believe, 2nd round this year.
Shucks.
Obviously, Derek Carr retiring. So they either give it to Tyler or I guess technically Spencer Rattler might be able to win it in training camp.
So Tyler shucks would be your quarterback. Your running back, Elvin Kamara. You know what you have to do? You can't let Kamara run like there's no tomorrow. And then the wide receiver, Chris Olave. Is that how you say it? I don't know what you think of. Danny Jones is on the for the Colts. They're ranked 30th. Danny Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr.
Mm-hmm.
New York is at 27. Russ Wilson.
What's New York? Okay.
Yeah, Russ Wilson, Tyrone Tracy Jr. at running back. Never heard of him. And then Malik Neighbors. And you like that Malik Neighbors guy, right?
Neighbors, we might be talking about him in the Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase range after this year.
You think he's that good, huh? Okay.
Now, his rookie year, even though he did have some health issues, statistically was pretty darn good. They targeted the heck out of him. And He's got nobody else on the offense. That's the problem. He hasn't had a quarterback to throw to him last year and nobody to really take attention away from him. But I would at least think Russell Wilson / Jameis Winston / Jackson Dart would at least be somewhat of an upgrade over what they had last year.
Tier 6, number 26, plenty of room for improvement is the title of this list. Quarterback, New England Patriots, Drake May, Trevion Henderson at the running back position, Steph Diggs at wide receiver. Does Diggs have anything left?
He got traded to Houston last year, didn't do much, but he had some injury stuff there. Yeah. But he's now kind of hit that age cliff where, I don't know. He's not going to be the same as he was in Buffalo.
Yeah. The old nobody beats Father Time.
And then Trevion Henderson's a rookie from Ohio State.
Pittsburgh at 25. Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback spot. Jalen Warren, the running back.
Yep.
And then DK Metcalf at wide receiver.
I'm not convinced Jalen Warren will be the number one running back there. I think it's going to be rookie Caleb Johnson.
Really?
Rosen's guy out of Iowa. Remember before the draft, that's the one guy he talked about how much he liked him, mostly because he had actually seen him before because Iowa played the Gophers. And Caleb ran all over the Gophers. But he's a big, strong dude. He seems like a Mike Tomlin style running back.
Right.
Like he seems like a Pittsburgh Steelers running back.
Like the boss?
Not like
Jerome Bettis?
Not that big.
Oh, okay.
He's not going to get like explosive plays for you. He's not going to run for a 75-yard touchdown run.
He's more Knuckles than Sonic?
Yeah. I'd say David Montgomery's probably a good comp for him.
Seahawks, Sammy Darnold at quarterback. He's got an arm, E-I-E-I-O. Kenneth Walker the third is the running back. I can't say the wide receiver's name.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Nahuna?
In Jigba.
Jets, Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson.
Who just got paid.
Yeah, he did get paid, right? Big money, big prizes. At 22.
And Breece Hall was thought to be, and even I fell into it before last year. I thought he was going to be one of the best running backs in football, and he flopped last year. We'll see if not having Aaron Rodgers will maybe help him a little bit more this year.
For trips, the Bears at 22, and I think this could change just because we have a new head, it's Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, and DJ Moore. And the only reason I think they could maybe change is just because we'll see what a new offensive coordinator, the brilliant mind of Ben Johnson, and then, their offensive line got refurbished like the Vikings. So maybe Williams is better than he was last year. And Swift's a good running back. He's not great. He has his moments, and everybody loves DJ Moore, right? Is he or not?
Well, see, you listed those three, and I'm not convinced two of those three would be on this list at some point in the season.
Oh, okay.
Like, DJ Moore is he was always a quality wide receiver, but I feel like last year he had a down year. I think Roma Dunze might pass him as the Bears' number one option this year. He was a rookie last year.
Yep.
And then DeAndre Swift technically doesn't have a lot of competition in Chicago, but he was a guy that Ben Johnson has coached before.
Yes.
And when Ben Johnson was there, they got rid of DeAndre Swift. They sent him away.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not convinced Ben Johnson loves DeAndre Swift, and I could see, they got Roshan Johnson, and then they drafted a kid really late in the draft named Kyle Monungai, who apparently has gotten some nice reviews during OTAs and mini camps and all that stuff. I think that'll be a rotation at the running back position.
Bo Nix, R.J. Harvey, and Cortland Sutton, your Denver Broncos.
I mean, Bo Nix had a solid year last year as like a 26-year-old rookie. Cortland Sutton's a fine wide receiver. R.J. Harvey he's a rookie, so it's hard to know what you're going to get out of him. But I think many people think, how KFC gets the quarterback whisperer tag?
Mm-hmm.
People always say the same thing of Sean Payton and running backs.
Okay.
Right? Like he was the one who kind of, Alvin Kamara was not as highly regarded as he has played in the National Football League. And it was thought that Payton unlocked him and figured him out in the offense. So he kind of gets the running back whisperer tag. So maybe, and he sought out R.J. Harvey.
Tier 5, just below average. Penix Jr., Bijan Robinson, Drake London. You like that trio?
I mean, Bijan and Drake, and even Kyle Pitts, were all very highly drafted by Atlanta, highly thought of. I don't know if any of them have gotten to the point we thought. Bijan was thought to be this guy's going to be the best running back in football. So I think many would still think he's top 5, but he just hasn't had like that major breakout season yet. And a lot of that is some of the offensive coordinating play calling they've had there, and they've still wanted to use multiple running backs and kind of poor quarterback play. We'll see with some of the coaching changes they've made and Penix at quarterback, how he does. But they need to get him the ball more.
Trevor Lawrence, Travis, and at the, how do you say it? Etienne. And then Brian Thomas Jr.
Trevor Lawrence is the big question mark, right? Former number 1 overall draft pick and he got paid, but has never lived up to the hype of being the number 1 overall pick. I feel like this is kind of a make or break year for him. Etienne had a disappointing year last year, and he's got competition in that backfield, so I'm not sure he's going to get the entire load. Thomas had a phenomenal breakout. He was one of the best rookie wide receivers in football last year. Other than Malik Neighbors, he was the best rookie wide receiver. He's great. And then they also got Travis Hunter. They drafted number 2 overall in the draft.
Raiders at 18, Geno Smith, Ashton Genty, and Brock Bowers, tight end.
Brock Bowers is probably the best tight end in football, even though he's only played 1 year. Many are thinking Ashton Genty might already be one of the best running backs in football, and he hasn't even played the National Football League.
And we like Geno's
okay. Yeah, he's all right.
And wasn't he didn't he have sort of a resurgence in Seattle or not? Am I wrong there? Wasn't it
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Nobody ever thought he'd be a starting quarterback again.
Correct. Zona, your guy, Kyler, James Conner, Trey McBride. Is that too high, 17?
Well, they picked Trey McBride over Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Trey McBride might be the best tight end in football. James Conner is one of those guys that he was at Pittsburgh, went to Arizona, and from a fantasy football team perspective, he outperforms expectations every year. Like, people just think, well, this guy is going to drop off at some point, and he doesn't. He keeps producing.
It says
Kyler's a question mark.
It says here it's described as a relatively disappointing season out of Marvin Harrison Jr. Would you call it relatively disappointing?
Given the expectations, given where he was drafted, yeah. But he wasn't so bad that I'd give up on him. And apparently he's put on a lot of muscle this offseason.
Vikings at 16.
Okay, well, the question at quarterback's going to do that.
Yeah, McCarthy, Jones, Jefferson. It says, this ranking is certainly a testament to the power of A, Justin Jefferson being either the best or second best receiver in football, and especially B, the infrastructure created by head coach Kevin O'Connell that has allowed almost any quarterback dropped into it to find success. Don't see how the Vikings climb this high otherwise, because we've yet to see McCarthy step on the field, and he wasn't exactly a high-volume passer at Michigan, and Jones is about to head into his age 31 season. So it's not like you have sure things at either of those positions, and still here they are. And you don't have sure things. Running back, I think you can still milk another year. And again, I think Jones said after the year, maybe it was even before last year, or was it during the offseason, he thinks he's got all kinds of great football left. And he very well could, but that is
a solid year last year.
But that age 30, just running backs getting past even age 25 or 26 seemed to for a while seemed to almost be.
Derrick Henry's still doing it.
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey's still thought of highly. And they'll have some help at running back and should have better blocking on the offensive line.
Tua, Devon,
A-Chain,
and Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek's one of those guys that dropped off last year. So was there something else? Was it injury related? Was the offense just out of whack? Or is he now at that point where, because of his age, he's just not going to have the same speed and explosiveness that he's had throughout his career?
Green Bay at 14, Love, Jacobs, Jaden Reed.
Are we sure the Packers' top 3 is better than the Vikings' top 3?
I guess the question at quarterback is the biggest one, because Love, I think, is a little further along, whether you like him or not.
Sure.
But yeah, maybe not.
But he's not an elite quarterback.
No, he's not.
Or he hasn't shown it yet. JJ trumps Jaden Reed by a significant amount.
Yep.
Josh Jacobs, I would take over Aaron Jones, but not a huge gap.
Herbert, Hampton, and McConkey at 13.
Wow. I'm surprised at how high they are. Omarion Hampton is a rookie running back out of North Carolina. He was, after Ashingenti, he was the next running back taken. Ladd McConkey was a rookie wide receiver last year. He's all right, but I feel like those three might be a little high.
Daniel.
That might just be overrating Justin Herbert.
Jaden Daniels, Brian Robinson Jr., Terry McLaurin. I thought, is McLaurin still in contract stuff?
He's having contract issues right now. Yeah, he's being vocal about it.
Would you put them at 12, though? Do you like that trio?
Well, Jaden alone.
Yeah, right, yeah. Hard to argue.
Yep. Brian Robinson's a pretty mediocre, middle-of-the-road running back. He's not going to be anything special.
Fringe top.
But stays durable and plays.
Tier 3 is called Fringe Top 10. Stroud, Joe Mixon, Nico Collins.
Nico Collins is a stud. He might be on that top 5 wide receiver fringe. And CJ stepped back last year, but still year 3, there's reason to believe that he could be a pretty darn good quarterback. Mixon's nearing the end of the road, too. I think he's in that same draft class or same age range as the Aaron Joneses of the world.
At 10, Dak, Javonte Williams, and C.D. Lamb.
Well, out of any teams in the top 10, they're going to have the worst running game. I can tell you that. Javonte Williams, they got for just a couple $1 million in free agency. And they don't really have anything for depth behind him either. But CD's elite. He's top 10. And Dak, depending on what Dak Prescott you get, whether he stays healthy or not, he's always in that top 10 range.
Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving, and Mike Evans. Is that too high? Or do you like Tampa Bay?
I've seen lots of flowers being thrown towards Baker Mayfield this offseason. All the rankings, everything you see, they think he's had a pretty good 2-year run.
Well, I think they like him too because he's kind of gritty and he's emotional and, he's tough and he's got that kind of a thing. He's a likable person. I mean, if as a fan, as you watch, he's a likable player. I don't know what he's like as a person, but he's a kind of a player that I think he's fun to watch. I mean, he'll make mistakes, but he'll also make some big plays for you too.
Can you tell me where Bucky Irving played college football?
Wisconsin.
No.
Iowa.
He graduated
St. Thomas.
He graduated from Oregon, but he played for
the St. Thomas Tommies.
Your Minnesota Gophers.
Oh, he did.
He played a year for Minnesota.
Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle at number 8.
Top 5 tight end, top 5 running back.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to have a varying wide range of opinions on Brock Purdy.
Tier number 2, just a bit outside. Stafford, Williams, and Puka Nacua.
Well, they got Devontae Adams there now, too.
Oh, yeah. What do you think?
That's a pretty good trio.
Yeah.
Kyron's another one of those guys that is, I think, vastly underrated nationally. I think he's a pretty good running back. But it's because he wasn't drafted high. He bombed at the combine. So I feel people have initial impressions on these guys. It's like, well, the guy's had 2 years of just productive play.
Right.
Like, you get stopped. It's okay to change your mind from your initial view of him, your initial projection. But people discount him based off of where he was drafted and how he had an awful combine. He was awful in the 40-yard dash.
A lot of people discounted you as an interim, and now you're a luxury producer. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, Jimmy Cook, and Khalil
Shakir.
Yeah.
I mean, that wide receiver running back combo wasn't very special.
No.
That's all on Josh Allen there. And James Cook also having some contract issues.
Kansas City at 5, Mahomes, Pacheco, and Rice.
Who might now be suspended at some point in the season. He was charged today.
He was.
Yeah.
Okay. Lions at 4. Goff, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, St. Brown.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Jameer Gibbs, top 5 running back. Amon-Ra's borderline top 5 wide receiver. And Jared Goff might be in that top 10 quarterback discussion with what he's done in Detroit.
Tier 1, the elite tend to be the elite. At 3, Lamar, Derek, and Zay Flowers. I'd take that.
If they had a receiver to go with.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers is all right. April showers bring Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Too bad they play.
Henry's the king and Lamar Jackson's elite.
Yeah. Eagles at number 2, Hurts, Saquon, and A.J. Brown.
Hard to go against that.
And number 1, Burrow, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase.
Surprised they're number 1, given that Chase Brown's not exactly a household name from a running game standpoint.
I think you're right, and I think it's because it's, Jamar Chase could be 1 or 2, right? And then Burrow
could be
he's elite.
top 5.
Yeah, he's good. So, but yeah, Vikings in the middle of the pack, and I do think, as it's said in the, each one had either a short or mid-length paragraph to go with it, and what it said about the Vikings, I think about a lot of that just has to do with Jefferson because there was such a question mark with McCarthy. The other thing that was said in there that we've talked about before, and I think it gets overlooked a little bit, is that Michigan wasn't a pass-happy club. I'm not saying he didn't throw, didn't make big throws, and had a large role, a major part of leading Michigan, or pardon me, the school up north to a natty. But until he plays. I talked about how sometimes I think that youth thing can be a little overrated, but sometimes it can rear its ugly head, and so it'll be interesting to see. But Jefferson does make. The other problem is you saw, and it happens to any team with standout wide receivers. There are times where Jefferson's quiet because he gets taken out of the game because the other team says we're not going to let him beat us. We're just not going to do it. Where you go ahead if Hockenfuss or Addison were thrown out of the backfield, if you want to do that, that's fine. But we're not letting Justin Jefferson. That's it's the old deny him the ball thing. In football, denying the wide receiver the ball is, to me, in a passing league, it's number 1 on the list if you've got an elite wide receiver, because we've seen Jefferson just torch teams. And we've seen it here a lot in this town with Jefferson, with Moss, the Carters, Diggs for a while. I mean, there's been some really good wide receivers here that have done some remarkable things. We'll take a break, come back. No Rosen, he's out roughing it.
You've got to be kidding me.
You know what I heard, too? They had to actually build the log cabin they slept in last night. That's how much he's roughing it. They actually had to build the log cabin from scratch. We'll break. We'll come back with a little this, that, here on The Fan.